Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today is June 13th, 2024. This is the reading for the collective. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you're located. As far as the date is right, hopefully, there will be benefits that you can get from this read. When the Fool card is something we can improve today, it is time to ask ourselves, what is freedom? And what are the factors that affect our freedom? Um, Even though all of us have some limitations that prevent us from pursuing our freedom, there is no harm to think about and to contemplate about what that meaning is for us. Because in the process of thinking and visualizing, our, our freedom is present, and um, and that process will help us to move closer to real freedom and beyond our limitations. Even though you may say, uh, maybe now is not the right timing, maybe we have so much stuff to do on our plate currently. But we can still think about it. We can still imagine, um, because that gives us the hope, and that's the compass for us to guide us to move towards more personal freedom, towards more personal freedom in regards to some personal situations. These situations might be because of illness, maybe because of financial matters, maybe because of career matters, family matters, love matters. Whatever things that makes us feel limited and feel restricted. Today is a day to dive into knowing what are these problems and what are the natures of these issues that are preventing us from freedom. And after we ask these questions, at least we can get a glimpse on um, what can be the possible problems we are facing, and hopefully in the process of brainstorming about the issues, uh, that will help us to streamline the process of removing obstacles. The Fool card, um, a part of freedom, apart from freedom. I'm sorry, I just woke up. I'm still getting my words together. Sorry for my grammar. Sorry for my mistakes. Anyway, the Fool card is about freedom. It is about breaking free from constraints. It is also um, related to the planet Uranus. So, for some of you, today it's best for you to be careful about possible unpredictable events. Um, and if you do prayers, if you have your spiritual practice, um, pray for protection from any kind of undesirable, unpredictable events, because as this is associated with Uranus, it is a wild card. You it's difficult to know what will happen somehow. There might be some kind of surprise. Can be good, can be bad, can be both. So as far as you know, there's a possibility for a surprise. Then at least you can be well. You know it ahead of time right now. So yeah. Um, some of you might consider taking a risk towards something. When you take the risk, it is important to acknowledge the fact that you don't know all the information. And sometimes in life, we don't need to know all the information in order to take a risk and step forward. So my advice is, if you have made the decision to break free from a situation, to take a risk, it is okay. It is okay. But at the same time, be realistic about the situation, because taking risk is essential for evolution. It also depends from person to person, like how big a risk you want to take, and what is affordable to risk. Taking risk requires courage and requires faith, and also requires strength. So whenever you're ready to take this risk, make sure that you know this is a risk, and there might be consequences. So even though I said this is unpredictable, but still you can be mentally prepared for some type of surprise, because when this card appears, it is difficult to say what will happen next. You might take a risk, it might fail, it might be successful, who knows? But some of you, I realize that you have reached a point of breaking through and biting through some of the issues and problems in your life. So I encourage you to not give up, even though it might be very fearful to take that big step forward. You know, throughout the history, there are many notable people who achieved great success and great progress by taking risks. For example, the astronauts who arrived the moon, they took a risk to get there. The people who who made the airplanes, they took multiple risks to take off, so that we can have transatlantic, trans-Pacific, convenient travels nowadays. So, did they fail? I believe that they failed many, many times. But for the astronauts to arrive the moon, that type of thing, that scale of event, can't be can't be fail for many times, because lives would be lost and a lot of money can also be wasted. So I just want to tell you that if you have to take a risk, uh, it is okay. And because when you acknowledge and when you know that there is a risk to take certain actions, you are mentally prepared for the consequences. And if you have the bravery, then it is okay to take a risk on something, knowing that it might fail, it might be successful. So, yeah. Um, and other than that, I have to remind some of you, if you are hiking today, please be careful, because in this picture, this person is on a cliff. So I have to emphasize the fact that you please be aware of any possible accidents. Don't try to do something really out of ordinary when you're hiking, because you don't want any accidents. Okay, on a physical level, I don't recommend taking the risk just to be safe. But on the other level of life, I hope that you can gain the clarity for the freedom and allow the sense of freedom to come into your life. Even though you might be questioning, you might be doubtful about the possibility of gaining the freedom, but you will, um, because when you take the first step to think about it, you consciously and subconsciously will align your actions towards a greater freedom for yourself and even for for the others. So I hope you will take the time to contemplate about what freedom means to you, and what price you would like to pay to be free. So hopefully the freedom is closer than you expect. Um, Other than that, the full card is also meaning a person who is dancing on their own beats. So for yourself, today is a good day to do something in your own terms. It is unnecessary to align yourself with the others and what the others are doing, because the full card is about independence. It is about doing things in your unique way, um, without without being apologetic about it. So yes, I understand that you might be in a teamwork, you might be in partnerships, maybe you need to bear kids, um, but make sure that there are moments in your life today that you can give yourself, prioritize yourself, prioritize your own freedom first. Uh, it can be simply a moment or maybe a few seconds. It can be just a thought. There are no rules to pursue this. Some people you can take the entire day off to you know to do things in your own terms. Some people you can't take a day off, but at least there are certain moments that you can connect to the energy of the Fool, you know, without affecting your other duties. So the key is to visualize the freedom that you would like. So you have that sensation as um, as the base for your future manifestation. Some of you might consider, you know, uh, taking care of your cats and dogs and pets, and they might have some concerns that you need to take care of. And if you regularly uh, bring them out of your house, please be careful. Make sure that they are close to you, because you don't want any accidents. But at the same time, you also want to honor their sense of freedom. So anyway, I hope this read is helpful to you and your loved ones. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate your participation and time. And I'll talk to you next time. Take care. Bye bye.